So DJ Akademiks is releasing this new podcast, right? It's something like On the Sticks. He's going to be playing video games, but he's doing a press run right now. And the first place he goes to is, you guessed it, the Flagrant Foul 2 with Andrew Schulz. Andrew Schulz, if you don't know who he is, do some research. But this guy is hilarious. They locked in for 5 hours, and he had some great points to talk about, right? So the first thing we're going to get to is Andrew Schulz saying that he's bigger than Joe Budden. And then we're going to talk about whether or not the Mal and Rory podcast will actually last past the Joe Budden sting. So when the stain of Joe Budden's name come off, when they're no longer affiliated and people are really there just to see, hey, are these guys good? Can they hold a conversation? Can they be great? Will this podcast last? We're going to get into that. But first, we'll get into these clips.
When he came to the podcast, he said he only drinks liquor.
Those are his exact words. I only drink liquor.
Okay, so let's start it off. Wait, who said what?
Man, don't act like. Are we acting like you didn't hear? Yeah, I love.
I truly have not. I truly have not.
He has no
He's
idea.
playing at a wedding. It's an Indian wedding. That's a very big deal.
I got
yeah,
no
he's getting married
bandwidth
this
for anything
weekend,
else.
bro. So he has no frame of reference.
Yo, you went to Rutgers. That is an Indian wedding. That whole campus is one big ass Indian
you
wedding.
should know about this, bro.
Campus, like the whole little business school over there. I love them though. You know what I mean?
All right. Stop talking about that boring nerd shit. Let's talk about some real stuff and let's pour this liquor. What are we discussing?
Bro, you actually been trending for like the last week.
What happened? What happened? What happened? What happened? I don't even know. I was
one thing about Andrew Schulz, and it's not just him, it's Andrew Schulz, it's Adam 22, it's Joe Budden, it's DJ Akademiks, it's all the greats in the fucking game. They know how to dictate a conversation to get it to where it needs to go. So if you think for 1 second while watching this clip that Andrew Schulz don't know where this conversation going, how it's going, or when it's going to get there, you're a fucking idiot. Get off my video.
Well, first of all,
I was at the beach. I was in the Hamptons just living
how do
my
you want
life,
to start
bro.
this? Because honestly, I really want to squash the beef between you and man.
Okay. First of all, which Joe we talking about? We talking about Joe Biden?
I assume.
Yeah, President of the United States.
No, we talking about the president.
No, we talking about Joe Budden, man.
Oh,
That's
Joe
my
Budden.
guy.
Oh,
That's
Joe
my
Budden.
guy.
Hey, for everybody who don't know why DJ Akademiks called Joe Budden Joe Budden, make sure you go watch my last video. You know we're going to throw that promo in there because y'all watching it, y'all looking at it. Y'all just not fucking subscribing and liking it as like y'all supposed to. So go like my last video. Go like this video if you still watching it. Go subscribe to me because I got all the news and all that, man. If you want to know why he calling him Joe Budden, you need to come watch my content. I got it for you. Come on, man.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Oh,
I
Budden.
love Joe Budden, bro. I think he got a cute little Patreon. It's cute. You know what I mean? His Patreon's cute. He got a cute little Patreon, bro. I'm just saying, release the numbers. He got a cute little Patreon.
What's up with the shots, though? Be honest.
I usually don't talk about people I've passed. So you brought him up, but like I don't talk about people I've passed.
All right, so let's get right to it. Has Andrew Schulz passed Joe Budden? When I watched the Flagrant 2 podcast, right? I watched the JPP podcast. I watched the Flagrant 2 podcast. Flagrant 2 podcast isn't really hip hop. I don't think. I gotta be fair. Okay, so do I think that Andrew Schulz has passed Joe Budden? Yes. Why do I think Andrew Schulz has passed Joe Budden? The Flagrant 2 podcast is bigger than the JBP podcast, I will believe right now. But I don't think that's because Andrew Schulz is better than Joe Budden. I think that's because Joe Budden is currently trying to rebrand and he's hurting himself in order to do that. Listen why. Mal and Rory, which will be the next clip we get to, they're dropping the same day as Joe on YouTube, right? If you go look at my last Joe Budden video, it received 40,000 views. Hear me out. Was it a good video? Did I do anything different? Why did it get big? It got big because I dropped it, and at the end of Mal and Rory's video, even though I disrespected them that whole video I did, their video suggested my video. So it pumped me up. So when people say, yo, Joe Budden's lacking on YouTube, he fell off of YouTube, he's not doing the numbers he's supposed to, I reference, hey, maybe he just don't want to pump up their numbers by having his video suggest their video or them videos be connected. So he's doing the smart thing. And when you think about it, he's big enough already to the point where when he rebrands, people are going to stick with him on Patreon. I know, man, people still paying $25 for the Patreon, even though they don't like the content as much. So that all goes into it. I think that Andrew Schulz podcast is bigger than the JBP podcast right now because of Joe Budden rebranding, because of Joe Budden trying to move strategically. But I won't just say it's all on Joe Budden rebranding because Andrew Schulz has made a name. You feel me? From Guy Code to Music Choice, MTV again, like he does it. You feel me? So he has his own audience and he does his own thing. No disrespect to him. But I don't think that he has passed Joe Budden yet. I don't think that Andrew Schulz is hip hop. I just get, when I look at the podcast, I get a Saved by the Bell vibe. But then again, that's kind of being hypocritical because Joe Budden says he is not a hip hop podcast. So right now, I would have to give it to Andrew Schulz. I'll say, yeah. I think Andrew Schulz podcast is bigger than Joe Budden's podcast. However, I do not believe it. However, I don't believe that it's because of just Andrew Schulz being more popping than Joe Budden. I think it has way more to go than that. You feel me? If that makes any sense.
I used to talk about when he was bigger than me, and you know now he got to use my name for clickbait. Hold on. He got to use my name for clickbait. I mean, times.
I don't think Joe is using Andrew Schultz's name for clickbait either. If you really want to get to that point, I think that Joe, of course, Andrew Schulz has gotten bigger. So I think that what Joe does is he says his name because he gives him that respect, but that's the goal. Like, yo, my goal is for Chico Smooth and urban politicians and academics and them guys, DJ Ghost, to recognize me and say one day, yo, you got something here. Or if we beefing, you say my name. It's the same thing with Jay-Z. Say my name when I beef with people I respect. You feel me? So if I'm beefing with this guy and he's obviously a worthy opponent now, I'm going to say his name. I don't think that goes into, hey, I need Andrew Schulz stain in order for me to get my groove. You feel me? I don't think that's it. I think it really is just, hey, you have gotten bigger. Hey, this is someone I need to let know now. Stay in your place, you a pup.
Change. You used to never talk about me. Wouldn't have let me be on the podcast. Now you gotta say my name.
You really think? All right.
You gotta say my name, bro.
You call him
Say
Jesse's child.
Say my name. You acting kinda crazy. Ain't calling.
We're not doing that. Let's get right to the Mal and Rory part. I'm not doing. These niggas broke out in full.
Baby, why the sudden change? Say my name.
Oh, these niggas is crazy. I'm not doing that. Let's get right to the Mal and Rory part, man. Them niggas is shot out.
If you feel you carrying these dudes, you're probably looking at them like, you should be working at Walmart.
Right.
Like, bro, I'm over it. So when I'm hearing Joe talk about it, he's like, yo, they're getting paid like $100,000. These dudes are bums. That's what he's thinking. Like, he's not thinking like, we created this. I think maybe his audience is probably trying to show him like, no, it's not just you. We actually did like that.
Well, if we're being honest,
I think I agree with Akademiks on so far on this point, right? Who created the Joe Budden podcast? Joe Budden did. But I'm telling you from someone who's making content right now who talks about this, if you say one thing that these niggas don't agree with, oh my God. I hope your kid dies. Hope your mom gets into a car accident. You be like, dog, only thing I said was that Rory and Mal don't know what they're talking about. Yeah, but you a bitch ass nigga. Yeah. You be like, yo, chill, bro. Like, it ain't that deep, my nigga. I'm blocking you, but you need to chill, bro. Like, the Joe Budden fans are a whole different breed of fans, bro. It's crazy.
So doesn't that mean that they like them and that they resonate with them? Like, if we're going to give Rory Mal all the credit they deserve, if people are going and listening to their podcast, how about this? If 6 months from now people are still listening at these numbers, you got to say, all right, you got something. Maybe you don't understand it.
I'll also say this.
Some people do.
When you say they...
Before Akademiks gives his point, I don't want to be influenced by what he says, so I want to get my point of view on it. If Rory and Mal can maintain these numbers for 6 months, because I think that... Okay, I think Joe Budden is going to start uploading podcasts again within the next month or two, right? I just think that he didn't want Rory and Mal's first couple episodes to pop off on the back end of his episodes, you feel me? You know what I mean? So I think that when Joe Budden comes back to YouTube and Rory and Mal numbers are sustaining at whatever they're sustaining in 6 to 7 months, if they're high, you got to give them credit. You got to say, yo, man, I'm sorry, I was wrong. But the thing is, if you watch that podcast, then you know that shit is boring. I'm not making it up. You cannot stay woke through it. It's boring. is not entertaining right now. I'm sorry. I hope them guys win, but maybe they should win somewhere else because that content is boring. I'm just saying it's boring. It's not good content right now. I'm sorry.
And they're not as
Right?
good
Yeah.
as
That's
me.
fair.
Yeah, and for you to say, to that point, for you to say they're not as good as me, you're incredible at this. Like, I'm already seeing, like, you can carry shit on your own in a way not a lot of people can. So,
I don't know what it is about the Indian guy, but this is like they always make sense, no matter who they are.
but to say there's no way they're as good as me, cool, but you're a top whatever, 0.1%. So they can still be good and not be as good as you.
All right. As Andrew said, you want me to be logical or you just want me to
Emotional. We do a thing here called feelings, no facts.
All right, hit it.
Okay?
No. Honestly, I'm gonna be logical with this one.
All right, bet.
I actually like they do have their worth in. I do think the audience loves all three of them together, but
They had good chemistry.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
still
Valuable.
think, and this is one of the reasons why in 2017 when I got on Everyday Struggle,
Yeah.
like I was doing my YouTube thing, and I felt I was really good on that platform, but I never really been on camera. I never really
You were awkward at first.
and that's what I'm
You
saying.
learned how to be good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I looked at that, and Joe was a fucking pro from day one.
Yeah.
He was a pro. And what I was even thinking about these dudes is like, you don't, as much of an asshole he is,
Yeah.
you don't know the benefit and the luxury you have working with someone. Like, when you work with Charlemagne very early on,
Yeah.
when someone could do some heavy lifting and do some.
I think what Akademiks is trying to say is this is something like a motherfucking wipe on, wipe off type situation. You feel me? Where you don't really understand your master. I guess that's what they call it in karate, your sensei. You don't understand your sensei until it's time to fight and you get a little bit older. I guess that's what he's trying to say right now.
things that maybe you're not there yet with.
I'm not here without Charlemagne, and I don't mean that in terms of like the access to people. I mean that in terms of the access to skill.
Yeah.
It's like motherfuckers that play in Europe and then they come to the NBA. You learn how to play basketball in the NBA.
I remember this.
There's a reason why Luka Doncic goes back to Slovenia, and that team makes the Olympics for the first time, I think, in that country's history. It's because Luka's been playing in the NBA.
Charlemagne says I'm a professional talker, and that motherfucker is so good at talking.
And you got to rise your shit to that. And I wasn't even close when we first started. It was something I got to get better at every single time and see how good he was and try to pick up a little bit of that every single time. Yeah. Yeah, no, I hear you. I hear you.
And that's what I'm saying. Well, it's a sink or swim moment, but you can't evaluate off of the first 6 months. They have to show if they could end up being what you are.
I'll say this. This is what I'll give them credit.
Guys, I fucked up. Okay, I was supposed to tell you about these shows I have dropping.
No, Andrew Schulz, I will not
Thank
watch
you
this
guys
ad.
Says
Wouldn't take that chance. They took the chance to fail. And if
They
I'm
had
being
to.
honest, well, no, a lot of people would go, all right, let me try to get another job. Let me do some A&R shit. Let me do something else in music. Maybe there's opportunities they could have got. And this way, they couldn't fail in front of all the people, right, that are looking at them going, can you carry a show? Now, they said, fuck it. We're going to go do it. We're going to prove that we were a valuable asset to Joe's podcast. And in 6 months or a year, we'll see if they are. But I admire them taking the chance. A lot of motherfuckers don't take the chance. They sit on the sidelines. They bitch. They complain. They whine. They don't do shit. They did shit. I admire that.
It's not even hate. It's actually a little bit of hate, a lot of logic.
All right.
Joe Budden, or Joe Budden as I might call him, he has a podcast network, correct?
Kinda.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
Yo, you never help him with YouTube, bro? Like,
All right, hold on. Before we get
Not a
Wait,
bad
hold
deal.
on.
Think
No.
how bad the deal on the Joe Budden.
was more than actually being objective.
right.
Y'all was on Joe Budden Podcast for 4 years. Why y'all never did nothing on the side?
You brought up a great point.
Why y'all never did? Why y'all never did this before? Why y'all never did skits? Y'all doing skits? Did Joe have y'all really locked in the basement?
Right.
Really victimizing y'all? Like this was like the R. Kelly show where like apparently Kelly got people that they got to look at the walls like y'all couldn't do anything.
Yeah,
I've always thought they had some type of deal where they couldn't do anything else because I've been inviting myself. Y'all want to have a conversation? We could get on a platform. You could even be y'all shit,
Yeah.
but no Joe. Get
Yeah.
Joe out of it. I don't
Yeah.
want your daddy here. Okay?
Yeah.
And they never did it. Now they're forced to sink or swim. Everybody's giving them the credit, saying, "Oh my God, they."
All right, I'm gonna hit the ear because Akademiks pretty much got this shit off. Andrew Schulz got his shit off. I kind of agree with Akademiks more. No surprise for many of you. I think what Andrew Schulz is trying to do is he's trying to give a participation badge, right? I think what Andrew Schulz is trying to do is he's trying to give a participation badge, right? He's saying, hey, you got out there, you tried, I applaud you for that. But what Akademiks is saying is, nigga, you was been supposed to try. That's why I'm coming at you. And for anyone out there with common sense, if Akademiks say, I'll get on your platform, my platform, whatever, we can get at it, he's an automatic bag, bro. So for y'all to say no to him, and for y'all to, it's just not right. At the end of the day, I know Maul will probably say, hey, man, he's the type of dude I don't want to talk to. But if he's the type of dude you don't want to talk to, how was you comfortable talking about him? He only responded to the disrespect that y'all said. Rory, you went to his house. How you not comfortable to sit down with this man? You feel me? I don't really get that. Maybe I'm missing something. But I do hope the Maul and Rory podcast make it. But I'm not going to give them credit for sinking or swimming. At the end of the day, if you want to be a creator, then go create, bro. Everybody not going to like your content. Some people going to click off of it in 15 seconds. You got to go create. But you don't get no thumbs up because you lost your job or you quit your job and you went to go do something that you knew would be a cash cow. You feel me? I don't really agree with that. Yeah, I don't agree with that at all. But, yeah, man, that's it for this video.